is a very sad day in the realm of the internet, as we are seeing one of the pioneers of Rooster Teeth being shut down by Warner Brothers. So Rooster Teeth has been owned by Warner Brothers since 2015, and it came out in the last day, at least from the time of me uploading this, that Warner Brothers is officially shutting down Rooster Teeth. It came out, I saw the post about it on Dexterito. The only thing that actually remains of Rooster Teeth, at least at this point in time, is their podcasting network. Pretty much everything else of Rooster Teeth will cease to exist. Now, on the surface, obviously, it's an extremely fucking sad thing to see. Rooster Teeth is a fucking pioneer when it comes to content creation and just any type of content that has been laid out on the internet. Rooster Teeth is a pioneer in that side of things. They initially got their breakthrough when they were first founded on April 1st, 2003. So it's been almost 21 years. This year was going to be 21 years since the founding of Rooster Teeth. They've been around for a very long time, and they initially got their fame and got their, popularity through their extremely popular and extremely, very critically acclaimed, I guess you could say. Now, if you don't know what Red vs. Blue is, it's one of the best, and I mean fucking best. Now, I have not watched all of it. I have watched the first few the first, I think 3-4 seasons of Red vs. Blue. It's been a very long time. It's been a long time since I've watched Red vs. Blue. But it was basically a web series that started off, it was pretty much just like a Halo-inspired animation, and it just grew into this web series that just has become a staple. I'm not saying that lightly. It literally has become a staple in internet content creation and internet web series. In 2003, you might not think of it, but the internet was still relatively new. Back in 2003, the internet was still a very, very much growing thing. And Red vs. Blue, at least from my point of view, came on the scene, and it was just this phenomenon that took over. And it was the first web series that really established itself. And it was really, it's a really entertaining web series. So many iconic characters to come out of that. It's just sad to see that Rooster Teeth is ending, and obviously Red vs. Blue is going to be ending with that. Apparently, recently, even before they announced the shutdown of Rooster Teeth, it was announced, I don't know exactly when, but it was relatively recently. I think it was late last year that Red vs. Blue was going to be getting its last season anyways. It's been going, it was still going. So from all the way to 2003, it was still going up until this point. They have 338 episodes and 18 seasons in total, which to me is fucking crazy, the fact that the web series is still going on to this point. And obviously, as much as it is a very sad thing to see that Rooster Teeth is ending, because like I said, they are an iconic company, a very iconic company, and they are a staple of when it comes to content creation on the internet. They have it's not just Rooster Teeth, but they have, they had all different other channels and so many different content creators. And it wasn't just Red vs. Blue as well. They had, Rooster Teeth Shorts, Immersion. They had the very popular Rooster Teeth podcast as well. Slow Mo Guys was actually a part of Rooster Teeth as well. Then they had Achievement Hunters on top of that as well. Then they had Funhouse. They had so many Let's Play as well, the Let's Play network. Inside Gaming eventually became a part of Rooster Teeth at some point after they acquired it from the downfall of Machinima. So they had so many different ventures. And when I was initially looking into this, as much as I was saying, it's a very sad thing to see that Rooster Teeth is ending. I always heard about, rumors coming out about Rooster Teeth. And a lot of these rumors weren't good type of rumors. From sexual harassment allegations to racial harassment allegations. The allegations that were coming out from Rooster Teeth were very, very bad and very eye-opening. But it wasn't until I actually started to look into it for this video until I realized how bad it was. And it actually seems that, as much as when I first saw this and saw it came out, I was like, damn, wow, as if Warner Brothers is putting an end to Rooster Teeth. And then like I said, I started to look into it a bit more. And I started to see, I watched this video, and I'm going to link it in the description below, because he goes into a lot more detail than what I'm going to go into. But he basically puts a full, it's by this guy named The Sneezing Monkey, and he puts on a full Rooster Teeth downfall timeline. All the scandals that happened from 2014 all the way up till this year of them shutting down. And also in the description of that video, he goes into detail of even more of some of the allegations. Some of these allegations are are absolutely terrible. Like, they are extremely bad allegations. And like I said, I'm just going to briefly go over them. But to me, when I started to look into how bad things were, I actually wasn't surprised the fact that Rooster Teeth was shut down. And there was a little bit of foreshadowing in the shutdown of Rooster Teeth. One being the fact that Red versus Blue was going to be coming to an end as well before the announcement of Rooster Teeth being shutting down. Now, like I said, I'm just going to go over this briefly. Like, some of the things that came out, some of the things that have come out about Rooster Teeth are really, really bad. And some people say that it goes back from 2014. So Warner Brothers originally acquired Rooster Teeth back in 2014. And some people would say that it was somewhat of the downfall of Rooster Teeth. I don't necessarily say it was. I would say it came around 2019 when like allegations actually slowly started to come out. Well, maybe actually 2018, more or less. Some people say it was due to Warner Brothers that was the slow decline. The first, like, somewhat kind of controversy, or the slow downfall of Rooster Teeth, 2015, was someone named Ray Narvaez Jr. leaves Rooster Teeth, and then also in that same year, Monty he was the main animator and director of Red vs. Blue, sadly did pass away. That's not necessarily any controversy, but you're getting some big people leave or sadly pass away in the company. That's obviously going to bring certain things down. Then the first controversy that came out about Rooster Teeth was in 2018 when Mika Burton, who is a black woman, and I have to say that because it does bring up, it is like, actually relevant in this conversation, because she left due to racist allegations, and apparently there was an income gap between men and women in Rooster Teeth. And then there was also another black woman who was a lesbian named Fiona Nova, who she reported allegations of racism and harassment to HR, which were all ignored. And this is, just remember that as well. This is going to be a reoccurring thing that happens, is that so many people report allegations, harassment, racist allegations, and so many different things to the HR department of Rooster Teeth, but nothing was ever done. Nothing was ever done by the HR department. Apparently, they actually would laugh a lot of certain things off as well. Then in 2019, one thing that's like a bit, once again, like I said, all these are allegations. A lot of these things are allegations, and not many of these have actually been proven. But in 2019, there was a voice actor who was involved in Rooster Teeth. His name was Vic Mignogna. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I probably fucking butchered it. The guy who I was watching, he didn't know how to pronounce it either. But apparently he was accused of unwanted affection towards fans, which were underage. Also in 2019, Gray Haddock was the head of animation. He left, or I think he was fired. I can't remember exactly. Sorry, there's so much information in this, but he mismanaged funds, and apparently he would also make people work in unbearable hours. Later that year in 2019, Bruce Green and Loris Sontag, who were part of Funhouse, who were like a channel linked to Rooster Teeth, they left Rooster Teeth. And I'm not sure if it was Lawrence who left for the same reason, but it came out later on. It didn't come out in 2019, but it came out later on that Bruce Green left due to the failed HR department. And the exact HR department allegations that Bruce Green left for is because apparently Adam Kovic, who was a co-worker and a friend of his, so the Funhouse group, the initial group of Funhouse, they came over from when Machinima shut down. They were the inside gaming crew, and then they came over to Rooster Teeth and they made Funhouse. They were friends. They all came over, but apparently there was a lot of sexual allegations and physical harassment that was being brought up against Adam Kovic. Apparently, Adam Kovic also had nudes that were leaked onto 4chan, and that he would supposedly send them to randoms. He also supposedly filmed him and his wife having sex without her knowing. So she didn't consent to that being filmed, and apparently that got leaked as well. Now, Adam Kovic, even though he left Rooster Teeth in 2020 when all these allegations originally came out from Adam Kovic, he was still around on the internet. So he was still like, was doing his own thing after Rooster Teeth. But then in 2022, more allegations came out against Adam Kovic. Some of them were with Bruce Green, who was a friend of his, Bruce Green's wife, Autumn, where apparently Autumn stated that she had some very creepy interactions with Adam Kovic, and apparently it wasn't just her as well. It was a couple other people. So then after those allegations came out 2 years ago, Adam Kovic now pretty much ceases to exist on the internet altogether. So that's why Bruce Green left, because apparently these allegations were brought up to HR, and supposedly HR laughed at Bruce Green on the phone. They just laughed at him. He brought up there was so many sexual allegations going against Adam Kovic, and then he would talk to HR about them, and the HR would laugh at him. So he left apparently due to that. In 2020, also there was more allegations that came out from another Rooster Teeth member named Ryan Haywood. Apparently he was accused of grooming and physical misconduct against underage fans that he would also send explicit photos to, and apparently he would hang around at RTX, which was a Rooster Teeth convention. He would hang around for a lot longer than other people would, and he would then like pretty much seduce fans and have intercourse with these fans. I'm not sure if these fans were like ones that were underage, but he supposedly did have intercourse with some fans at RTX, and he was like would come off as a very creepy person. Earlier in 2020, there was a couple people who left Rooster Teeth or were fired. Joel Heyman was a voice actor who was fired due to some far-right tweets that were regarding COVID. Bernie Burns, who was one of the original founders of Rooster Teeth, he left in 2020, which a lot of people, no one knows why he left, but fans speculated that the reason why Bernie Burns left is because this stuff regarding Adam Kovic, Ryan Haywood, Bruce Green, Lawrence Sauter, all these people with misconduct or leaving the company due to because the HR department wasn't doing anything. Supposedly, people reckon that like Bernie Burns was getting too many things like that were coming out, and that he was seeing that he was just like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. There's too much shit going on in this company that I created. I'm leaving. So that's what fans think actually happened. In 2021, not much happened. It was just like Jeremy Dooley, who was part of Rooster Teeth, leaves. Then in 2022 is where more big controversy comes out. Keaton Jensen, she was a trans person, and she accused the company and people in the company of harassment, and apparently people in the company would call her the F word. And no, I don't mean fuck, I mean the one that you would call a gay person if you wanted to be extremely derogatory. And that she was also, when she first got to the company, the first year that she worked there, she worked without pay. She worked for a whole year without pay. And then after that year, when she started to get paid, she asked to be compensated for that first year, but was laughed at from the HR department. She was also forced to work insane hours with shit pay as well. And then also there was videos as well that came out of her when she was younger, that in some of her some gameplay videos that she made, she said the N-word as well. So, I mean, as much as, she left the company due to things that she didn't like in the company, and then also people were digging into her past to show that, say that she wasn't much of a good person because she said the N-word in a video when she was, like, extremely young, which, when you're extremely young, I mean, you say all stupid shit, but obviously, if you say the N-word, the internet is definitely going to fucking come after you. In 2022 as well, there was a couple people who left and were laid off. Matt Bragg was part of Rooster Teeth. He was laid off. Alana Pierce, who was part of Funhouse. I know Funhouse a lot because I used to watch Funhouse, which is, to me, when I, like, heard all of this shit, is like, pretty disheartening. But she left on, like, because she wanted to go to Santa Monica because she's now a writer at Santa Monica Studios. Then in 2023, Achievement Hunter, which is one of their biggest channels, shut down. And also later that year, it was announced that RTX 2024 was cancelled. So to me, like last year when Achievement Hunter shut down, and apparently Achievement Hunter shut down due to their views not being as good as they used to, which if you go on some of the like Rooster Teeth channels, not just the main channel, but if you go on Achievement Hunter or even if you go on Funhouse and you look at their recent content compared to like back in like 2015, 2016, like the mid 2010s, these channels were popping off. They were doing big numbers on their channels. They were making such good content. I used to watch Funhouse like when they first came over from Inside Gaming, from Machinima to Rooster Teeth, and they made Funhouse. That group was fucking hilarious, and their videos would do bits. And then if you look at the last couple years, especially ever since like Bruce Green started, when Bruce Green and Lawrence Sonntag left, that was kind of the downfall of Funhouse, and their views started declining, and all this stuff about Adam Kovic came out, and then it has happened with Achievement Hunter as well, where Achievement Hunter's views started to go down, Rooster Teeth's views started to go down, and it was due to all these allegations and so many different people leaving the company. So really, this has been foreshadowed for a long time. Like I said, there was so much foreshadowing, especially in the last year with Achievement Hunter shutting down, And then RTX being announced that it was not going to be run in 2024, which was like a massive Rooster Teeth convention that was run every single year. And so many fans would go to this convention. And then also it was announced that Red versus Blue was being cancelled. It was pretty much being cancelled, and that they would have their last season this year and it would be no more. So if anything, it's not, when you look into it, it's not really surprising that we've seen Rooster Teeth shut down. It is sad though. It is extremely fucking sad. Like, I hate to see such a good company and such a, you know, staple in the content creation on the internet going down the path that they went down, of so many of their creators and so many people that were involved in Rooster Teeth left the company due to, you know, sexual allegations that were against them, or sexual allegations that were against their colleagues, and nothing was being dealt with by the HR department. So they left because, you know, I don't want to be in a company that, you know, does nothing about sexual allegations towards me or towards one of my colleagues. So to me, when I saw all this stuff and I actually like sat down and really like heard what really went down at this company over the last few years of what was coming out from this company, I was not surprised whatsoever that they've actually shut down. Like I said, it's still sad. I fucking hate to see a staple of content creation on the internet being shut down, but I mean, no one's surprised. Like I said, if you have watched my video, I recommend going and watching that Sneezy Monkey video, because he goes into so much more detail than I am. I'm just like rambling on about it because I still think like I want to give reasons of why they shut down, because they obviously shut down for a reason. Things just don't cease to exist for no reason. It obviously happened because of the reasons that I spoke about. So many reasons why they shut down, and it's just sad to see that they had to end the way that they did. But let me know what you guys think about this down below. Like to hear your opinions. Man, rest in peace to Rooster Teeth. Sad to see them go, but like I said, no surprises whatsoever. That's it from me. Peace out.